to take a starting gravity. So we have our wine thief. You can use a measuring cup if you've sanitized it. And just add enough to make it float. At this point, doesn't take too much. I wonder if we have enough water in this. There's a lot of foam on it, but it looks like it's at 1060, which is... What's that?
The foam in there, won't that?
No, the foam should not affect the reading at all. Only the dissolved solids in the water. If there's other solids in there that are suspended, they shouldn't affect it. And the foam, well, it will have no effect on it. I wonder if we hit our starting gravity. I want to get rid of my spoon already. Oh, it isn't. See? It's also a good sanity check because that should be about 1050, and it's only got about 4.5 gallons of water in it. That's it. Good. All right, that looks better. Well, the yeast will stir it. All right. At this point, it's just ready for the yeast. Well, hopefully the temperature is right. Let me go re-sanitize my thermometer. Normally, I try to have a plate or something on the countertop that I've sanitized that I can lay things on. Just now I was using the lid of the bucket, which was sanitized. But usually I'll try to keep everything, just put spoons, whatever, on the plate. So if I need them again, then you can just pull it out. And I didn't think I was going to need the thermometer, but I forgot I might want to know what the temperature is right now. So that'll take a minute to acclimate, and then we will sprinkle.
And what do you do with the specific gravity? First, you write that down.
Usually I make a note of it. I usually have a brew log, like for all the list of ingredients, when they went in, if anything weird happened, things like that. And then also the starting gravity.
And what was that?
I didn't take another one. I'd have to,
What should it be?
1050, 1.050. That's the anticipated starting gravity, which is pretty consistent with extracts. If you measure your volume right, which sometimes can be tricky, and you use a measured amount of that, then you're good. $66, I'll take it. Just sprinkle this right on the foam. Just try to distribute it evenly. Resist the temptation to stir it in. People always want to stir it in. I don't know why. All the time it's like, should I stir it in? It's like, no, don't stir it in. Really? Even a little? Like, don't stir it in. The reason is because as it sits on top of the foam, you've got the yeast, which is sucking in moisture and rehydrating itself. It's exposed to all the air above it, so it can take in some of that, and it will find its way in. Trust me, it will get in there. If you've ever had something sitting in the counter on the refrigerator for a few days, it'll get foamy and weird on its own because things have fallen in there with no yeast jacuzzi, no special treatment. They'll just do it. So just sprinkle it on top. It'll give it the most access to oxygen, and then it'll go in. If you stir it in, all right, it's not tragic. If you stir it in, though, then it's only going to be accessible to the amount of oxygen that you've added to the wort, which usually the experts say we should do more than what we did today. Like that was like the minimum you would do. So sprinkling on top is good, and it's easier. Okay. Then you usually put your airlock in. I'm going to go sanitize my airlock because this was just sitting on the counter. Another good tip is if you use, well, either iodophor or star sand, or metabisulfite works well for this too. Mix some in a bottle, a spray bottle, and then you can just spray this with a spray bottle. Both the iodophor and the metabisulfite will keep a little while like that, but then they're just gas in solution, they'll come out. Star sand will stay forever until you've used it all up, because it's not a gas. So it's easy to use for little projects like this that, all right, I've got one little thing. If I've already dumped out my sanitizer, I'm sort of in trouble. You could also use a little alcohol, like vodka or something. Some people even fill their airlocks with vodka. We usually just use star sand or even metabisulfite. Or, well, sometimes metabisulfite, that works well too. I'll be right back. The stem will also push into the lid easier if it's a little wet from sanitizer. Sometimes if you push too hard, and I find if you twist, it helps also. If you push too hard, sometimes the whole grommet will fly into the bucket, and then you're gasping, wondering like, okay, now what? I've heard of people in there fishing it out. I'm like, don't fish it out.
So the liquid in there is the star sand in the airlock?
There's no liquid in the airlock yet. There's probably a little iodophor that's the way it's set up in the sink in the back for dipping. So I just dipped it in that.
But you'll put water in there?
Yes, I will. And the reason I've left it empty for now and with the lid off, missing, is that one of the things this bucket does, especially and the smaller buckets as well, when you lift them up, the bottom will sag, and sometimes it'll draw a vacuum. And then if there's sanitizer in there, sometimes it will suck the sanitizer back into your beer. If it's metabisulfite, I'm not worried about it. If it's vodka, I'm not worried about it. Who cares? It's not enough to change anything. It's not enough. It's not toxic. Well, not to people. Well, in small amounts. So usually I will put the airlock in and then move it to wherever it's going to rest or wherever it's going to ferment, which is going to be over there. And then I'll finish filling it up. That's it.